Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, millions of adoring fans around the world. Maybe a slight exaggeration. We have here today on Dre's Roots podcast one of my many former bosses, such as it were, Mr. Gareth Larson. Welcome and thank you for giving me this opportunity on short notice.
100%, anytime.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah. So, I mean, I worked for you a couple of years ago in the film extrusion game.
There we go, yeah.
It's an interesting little time of things, also in Cape Town. And you are out here in, what do you call this place? Mikpunt.
Mikpunt, yeah. Mikpunt.
Point and...
Point and shoot. Or
Point at the
Aim.
point. Aim and point.
Aim and point, yeah. Same
Well,
thing.
yeah, I don't want to say it's like a sort of a hillbilly end of the woods, but I mean, if it's called Mikpunt.
Yeah, 100%. It's on Klipjewel.
Okay.
Or in Klipjewel. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Klipjewel is Klipjewel because it's a big stone.
Oh, right, is that it? A different clip.
It was a mine back in the day.
Oh.
That's where I ride. Yeah.
Yeah, you might see there's a couple of motorbikes. They might be in the shot, they might not, but we'll take some photos. You into your bikes, your dirt biking, and your bikes, eh?
I've been in bikes my whole life, dude. I was a professional stunt rider for a couple of years, sport bikes. Then I retired in 2019, but I'm back on off-road bikes
It's
now.
actually not that long ago, 2019. I thought it was like way back when. It's actually just the other day, really. Eh?
Well, so I retired in 2019 because I wasn't riding enough. I didn't get a chance.
You got to stay sharp, eh?
Yeah, and I had people quoted for a show in Namibia, and like a month before, they paid deposits, everything. A month before the show, I just got cold feet, bro, and I was like,
wow,
I'm not riding enough. It's too dangerous. I'm going to hurt myself, and I chickened out, and yeah.
It's also a thing about like just aging in general. Like you do become more risk conscious. So like even if you're ahead of the game or whatever you've done and whatever you're comfortable with, like that formula just kind of, or that equation just kind of skews over time, like
It
into
changes,
the safe zone. Like
it does.
I mean,
it does sort of. Although now I'm doing hard enduro, and I'm doing like all sorts of crazy jumps I wouldn't have thought about.
But you are crazy though. Like there's that little bit of a crazy side to you. I mean, you will.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a little bit about it, but for the sake of the podcast, I mean, just tell us a bit about you. Professional stunt bike. Like, what were you actually doing when we say professional stunt bike?
Sport bike stunt riding. Yeah. So I'm still undefeated. I ended up doing the South African Stunt Riding Championships. It was the XDL South African Championships. 2017, I finished third in the country. And yeah, I'm still undefeated Endo champion of South Africa. Nobody's ever beat me in an Endo competition.
And Endo means that's like a stoppy kind of thing.
Stoppy, riding on the front
riding
wheel.
on the front wheel. So when you say undefeated, how long did you go on the front wheel for?
I could always double my distance depending. So yeah, it all depends on speed and all. But yeah, so from mostly, I could. The longest one I probably did was over 200 meters.
So that's quite.
That was a high speed spin. I was
that's
still doing high speed
speed
stuff.
because you had enough speed to keep it going for 200 meters on the front wheel. And what speed did you go onto the front wheel at to be able to do that?
On that one, over 200 k's an hour. About 200 k's an hour.
It takes some guts to go onto the front wheel at 200 k's an hour, dude.
But that's also so on those high speed ones, you carry a lot of distance fast in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I
so
mean?
the first hundred's like.
Yeah, because you scrub off quite a lot of speed in the beginning, but getting the front wheel up while you're moving at 200 k's an hour. You're still moving at 200 k's an hour.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you're doing it so not intuitive to like put weight onto the front at that. I mean, it's like your whole body's like, no, don't do that.
That's crazy. I had a Blackbird, then I put a Hayabusa front end on it because it had better brakes. It was upside down front end, and people couldn't believe it out. And that was a 240 kilo bike that I just used to pop onto the front wheel.
Yeah, so that's psycho, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, didn't you got a couple of injuries? Don't you have a couple of pins and a couple of?
Yeah, I've got a pin in my finger. I shattered my calcaneus bone.
I didn't even know there was a calcaneus bone.
That's your heel over here. It
no.
wouldn't even operate, because
that's nasty. That's like
shattered
quite a bone,
like a
isn't it? That's like quite a
18
serious...
months, man. Recovery, 18 months.
How did you whack that to shatter it?
So it's a trick called a high chair. I was trying to do a high chair circle wheelie.
Again, that's like.
So that's when you're sitting on your legs over the handlebars. You've got your bum on the tank.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do a wheelie in a circle outside one of our old. Did you ever see the Tuffy Sticklands? You saw Stickland, eh?
Yeah,
so they called the sucking Sticklands.
Yeah.
At one stage, many years ago, I was practicing there on a XT on a bike that I'd built. It's a complete Frankenstein. It's called Frankie now. Somebody else has got it. It's still been passed through the years.
Yeah, yeah.
The other day I found out some other guy's got it, and he's going to start stunting it now after all these years.
Oh, awesome.
Anyway, it was like a hacked up Ohio Sung with a XT660 fuel injected engine. It was really cool bike, but hard work. Anyway, one of the soldered connections on the fuel pump wire cracked. And I was busy wheeling and didn't realize that. I didn't know about it.
Just cut power.
Cut power. As it came down, I was obviously sitting on the handlebars. It pushed me forward. When it hit the ground, all of a sudden the fuel pump came back on. It made connection again. And the bike. I had my hand flat on the accelerator the way I'd fallen. It shot me up, bucked me over.
It like whipped you over.
It whipped me over, and I think and then bulldozed me. I think my foot must have gotten stuck in the back wheel or something.
Oh shit! So it gave it a good solid.
But
crank,
it happened so fast. I didn't have a camera on me. That's why I always ride with the camera now.
Yeah. Now nothing happens with you with the camera.
Yeah, there we go. I've got so many accidents now.
It's like your insurance policy.
There you go. Yeah. So that was quite a hectic one. But yeah, I mean, I almost lost my calf muscle.
Yes. Some of the stuff, that's quite a scar.
Yeah, it was also 200 kilometer hour wheelie, put it down, got a tank slapper, bike through me. I was dragged next to the bike, thinking I could pull myself up, couldn't pull myself up, went into the pavement.
Like proper evil Knievel shit, dude. So like what drove you to do all this? Not just, stunt bike. Everyone pops a wheelie now and again, like it's thrilling, but to push it like that. After even coming off and having these injuries, but to carry on pushing it. What gave you that?
I don't know, dude. I think it must be. I don't know whether it's my ADHD chasing something, a dopamine hit,
do you think,
or what? But it's just from when I was young. I remember since I got on a motorbike, I always try to pop wheelies on it.
Yeah, and then try to push the envelope.
And then as I got older, I saw other stuff. So I saw a stunt rider come in 2000, and I fell in love. So then I tried, and then my brother died like that year. And he died on a bike, so then I was off bikes for years. Then the whole family was like, and my heart was broken. So he was 9, I was 19, he was 17. He died, so I was off bikes until I was 28.
That's hectic, eh? Yeah, that must have been quite a traumatic one.
Yeah, it was quite hectic. And then I was off, and that was my dream. And then I was off bikes for like almost 10 years, and I never ever forgot that I wanted to be.
Yeah, it's like the bug sort of stayed there.
It stayed there, even though I lost my brother on the bike and everything. And so I bought a delivery bike and started popping wheelies on it.
Delivery bike.
Yeah, a little CG125, and started there. And everybody was against it, but yeah.
Yeah, what I was going to say, what did your folks have to say about that? They must have not been too happy with you.
Everybody had issues, especially when everybody saw me and was phoning my dad saying this oak's popping wheelies everywhere on this little piece of shit bike.
Yeah.
It's true, because everybody would see me and they were like, who the fuck, that's Gareth. And then Larry.
You're supposed to know better.
There we go.
And what did your old man say? Did he sit you down and just grumble a little bit?
Threatened me once or twice.
Oh, is it? Because you were still quite young then. I was say 19, so you stopped for a while. So
10 years, dude. I was 28. I was almost 30.
So it's even worse because they were like, "Come on, we thought this was behind you." You know,
there we go. And I like sort of had my midlife crisis at 30.
Anymore.
And I was also everybody else who was in stunt riding when I was competing was young. I was already like 30. I was competing at professional level and like almost 40, 37 years old. You know,
that is like an age to be taking risks like that.
Yeah. So and all the other guys were like 20, 19. So it was.
And you were still competitive at that level.
Yeah, and I didn't ride much. So yeah. But I'm getting back into it now. Crazy enough.
Why? That thing just won't let you go.
So yeah. So now the new generation of stunt riders is out, and a lot of them grew up watching me, I think, and so they're getting really good now. So they've been. I'm actually Sundays that I'm going to go ride with some of them. I did 2 weeks ago. I went to go stunt ride with them. They're like offering me a bike to jump on and just hoping the bug's going to bite so that I can get back into it.
Just get you. Yeah.
So that's been pretty cool.
Is there is there stuff on YouTube of some of the stuff that you've done in there? Can a person go search for it and find it? So?
Yeah, Instagram, YouTube, not so much on YouTube, more on Instagram and a bit on Facebook.
You just search for Gareth Larson.
Gareth Larson. I've just started my YouTube stuff. Crazy enough, through all these years of me stunt riding, I pushed everything on Facebook and Instagram, never did anything on my YouTube. When I decided to start using my YouTube, I didn't have any videos on YouTube. So like I've got it's like my account's
see,
brand new. I've got
yeah.
like 2 subscribers on my
But
YouTube.
you can load all that stuff on there because you've got a lot of material that you can actually.
Yeah,
load.
so I haven't actually yet. I've just started with my newer stuff, the enduro stuff, but I will start
Okay.
focusing on just pushing some of my old stuff in. I do want to get a bike again and start stunt riding again. It's now that I don't have. Yeah, my kids are older now.
So
I know
they can afford to lose you. They can
Yeah,
make it on their
yeah.
own.
Before I get too old, I don't want any more regrets. You know, I wasted
Yeah,
20 years in
sure.
corporate, so
Yeah, that's the thing, huh? Yeah.
it broke me.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the corporate thing. And I mean, obviously, so you were a toughie back in the day, before the corporate evolution.
I was a toughie.
And
I had broken service there too. I worked there for a while, and then I left for a couple of years, did my own thing, and one day they asked me to come back. It was a funny situation, yeah.
And it was just the right timing or whatever, and you.
It was, yeah,
decided to
I had
go.
a little workshop and it wasn't doing well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was, their timing was perfect, sort of like things were going badly for me at the time. They needed somebody. They contracted me in to do a job. They were so impressed by the job that they were like offered me a job, but I hadn't qualified as an artisan yet.
Oh,
And-
was this still before the corporate days? Old toughie still? Okay.
It was actually at the start. Douglas and I, when I went back for my second time, Douglas, he had just started as well, and it was still family owned then by Jonathan Dufford. But
Okay.
in the coming years after that, not long, he started selling off and
Yeah. I mean, you told me a little bit about the change at the time. I mean, I don't know how much you want to go into it. You don't have to go into it that much, but it was quite a terrific change that the business kind of undertook in that process. I mean,
yeah, it was. It's they always say nothing will change. Everyone say the
Tremendous,
same,
yeah.
but it never is, and it changes completely.
Yeah.
Every part of the business changed.
Yeah, that's, I mean, to maybe take it away from the specifics of that business, but in general,
Yeah.
corporatization worries me a little bit. Like, I mean,
It's
what
hectic,
happens
man.
when these corporates take over all the businesses, like, especially in manufacturing and that stuff? What happens when there comes a day when like a roaming artisan like myself or yourself in the past doesn't have the option to go and work for like a smaller privately owned business? It's like
It's a problem.
they're getting big, these guys, and there's no...
And they're swallowing all the small guys up.
Yeah.
And then they're just stripping the contents. And
Yeah, it is like that, dude.
It is,
really
dude.
is. It's like they find the goose that lays the golden eggs, stuff it full of hormones or whatever they have to do to
There we
pump the
go.
golden eggs out, and then
100%.
wring out the carcass and throw it away and grab the next one. I mean,
There we go.
and you've got like some of these old companies are such proud brands. They were built on such real values,
True
and
story.
there was somebody's vision
True story.
that became the successful thing, and like, yeah, it's really sad. I don't know if there's maybe a stronger word, but it's like, it's a shame. It's
It
a
is
shame.
a shame. It's disappointing. I mean, heritage, legacies are being lost. It's
Yes.
mad, dude. It's
Yeah.
getting
And,
so-
and even those legacies, like some of them, times move, things change and whatever. And I mean, those legacies of that strength aren't really being created now. The model for business creation is more different now. It's like build something up and sell it off, and go on to the next thing. There isn't that like, let's
Yeah.
build this.
Well, I think everything's been, our culture's been, the whole world's culture's been diluted.
Yeah.
It's not like it was. You don't have
No.
heritage. Where's the heritage gone? Nobody has any. I mean, nothing's
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
was. Does Christmas feel like Christmas these days?
Exactly, yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't.
It's
Does
all been
Easter feel
diluted.
like-
Diluted's a good word.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, it's funny that you touch on that culture thing, because that's been like a bit of a theme, and it's a big part of why I'm doing this, is
Okay.
because, I mean, I was going to go to New Zealand, and I sort of pulled the plug on that at the last minute for various reasons. But a big part of it was like a close examination of culture, and the culture here, the culture there, why am I doing this whole thing, my values and that. And I realized like, I'm like in love with this culture, our local cultures, the intersection of the cultures we have here, and I experienced in the Western Cape, up and down the Western Cape. And it's like, the culture that's there is kind of like an amalgamation of, okay, now I haven't got an experience there, so I'm maybe speaking out of school. But I've looked quite deeply into it, and it's sort of like they don't have much local traditional culture there. It's all kind of this amalgamation of whatever foreigners from here, there, and whatever have brought in, which I suppose is also interesting in its own way. But I love this. It's all diluted, yeah.
You're diluting the
I love
culture,
this rich,
the heritage.
Yeah, heritage is a good word.
Yeah, and that's what we're losing, and that's why, the world is falling apart because we've lost it.
Yeah.
Values go with that, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like if you have this melting pot thing, and like I've kind of mentioned this before, so the millions of viewers are going to complain by now, but just for the sake of you and for the conversation, if your cultures all become one, and so you have this global kind of thing that's happening, then you lose the variety and the ability to appreciate like different heritages and cultures, because now it's all just one.
Everything becomes bland.
Yes, it becomes so bland. And I wonder if people, if they don't think about that, or what, do they still feel it in some way or experience it? Even if they don't feel it, they sort of experience it. Like like you don't have a choice but to be a part of whatever the culture is. So 100%. You don't have the benefit of, let's say, like, I mean, well, our grandkids have the benefit of like, oh wow, these people, you get the Germans wearing their Birkenstocks and their dungarees, and like, and you don't get to experience
the Scottish in their kilts.
Yes,
I mean, it's disappearing so fast.
Yeah, but some people, they get this. The progressive idea is that heritage and the appreciation of heritage goes hand in hand with what they call nationalism. And then they're like, oh no, nationalism is bad, because then like that's where wars come from. So like, I don't know, how do you kind of say you can have maybe not nationalistic, or maybe sometimes it is nationalistic pride, without it being about hating the other guy,
100%. Yeah. See, it's difficult to have nationalism these days because everything's so diluted. I mean, you don't have a singular, I don't want to say singularity, but
national identity.
A national identity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes very difficult, and that's why we have a lot of clashing now, and we have a lot of this, and there's a lot of dramas, because not everybody sees eye to eye. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. Everybody believes in different things. Everybody sees things differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's outlook on life is different. So, yeah, it's crazy to think, and I don't want to turn anything into a dodgy.
No, I can always edit it out, even if it gets way in the weeds.
But it's crazy at how that.
No, it's interesting. I think it's not just that it's crazy. It's an interesting thing to watch and to wonder.
Crazy time to be alive.
Yeah,
interesting
absolutely.
Time to be alive.
Like you wonder, like, where does this go to? What is the progression of this? If this just kind of carries on. But speaking again of that, I wonder if you could comment a little bit on what do you think of like AI and what's happening with that. That's also another interesting.
AI, yeah, that's another kettle of fish. AI, I know it's a lot more powerful than we know. We only get the tip of the iceberg.
It's changing things rapidly.
Rapidly, and I don't know if it's all it's not all for the good. It's given bad people a lot more ability to do bad things.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and it's sped up a lot of things. Sped up a lot of things that shouldn't have been, available to.
What do they call those? Not evildoers. That's there's a word. It'll come to me like a bad players, or what? There's that word that it's like a really euphemizing word of like. No,
but it shouldn't.
It's helpful as well. I mean, like you say, it speeds things up. I mean,
it speeds everything up. No, 100%. It's great. It's just, I've noticed it records everything. At the same time, I sort of feel like, wow, it's awesome and fun because I do use it here and there.
Yeah, of course.
I do sort of feel that, in a way, you sort of lose your privacy by opening up to everything because it doesn't.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And
it's all. I mean, it's data hungry. It wants every scrap of data, whatever it is. It doesn't care the context of what. It just wants it.
100%.
And the thing is, once that's all collected, who then decides what gets done with that? Like who?
That's my fear because I mean, all of a sudden you get, it gets deep. Yeah. All of a sudden you don't have you have a social score, a social credit score.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden everything's out there, and everything you've ever done's out there, and everything you've said, and people change over time. And now all of a sudden AI can say, but you did, you're this kind of person.
Yeah. It's headed that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're aware of the social credit score thing from China, what's happening in China and all that. I mean, and the West's obviously headed in the same sort of way. And it's not
So
far
the West
down.
is not much. We don't. The West isn't really the West anymore. It's not like it was.
Yeah.
It's been swallowed by whoever swallowed everything else. I
Yeah,
don't want to talk
yeah.
too deeply, but yeah,
Yeah,
it is true.
these interests, that are at work. Yeah, no, we won't go too deeply into
Yeah,
that. But it
so-
is by itself a very interesting development. And I think actually it's something that should get spoken about more. It does. I mean, if you go and you hunt down where to, but again, with that, you get a lot of like disinformation. You get a lot of, not just that, you get narratives. There's this side's got this narrative, and there's reasons that they have that narrative, and not all of those reasons are altruistic, even if you agree overall.
100%.
And then there's the other side
And I
that's
think
got an agenda.
there's a lot of things put out there to guide us, to put us in the wrong path.
Yes.
There's a lot of misinformation put out there deliberately
Yeah, of
to
course.
keep you confused. I mean, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
yeah.
It's anyway, yeah.
Confused and distracted. Distraction is the other
is
thing.
a crazy one, eh?
Social media and TikTok stuff. Like, I'm just glad I don't do TikTok. Like, I see so many people that, I mean, I have my own distractions, but like, it's like these little 30 seconds or 10-second things, and they just like go through them, and you go like,
They get
you
stuck.
and you go sit them down for like a 30-minute thing or something, and they're like, there's no way they can concentrate for 30 minutes on like, because they've been like, trained into this kind of
Short
10
attention
second,
span.
30 second, yeah. I mean, where does that lead to? Like, again, the kids, like, if that goes sort of unchecked. Although there seems to be some kind of pushback. Like, some in the younger generation seem to be a bit more, like, savvy of actually pulling back a little bit. I think not universally, but...
Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with the way they're brought up. Some people just there.
Oh, it's the easy way out.
Pacify, man. It's the best pacifier in the world.
Yeah, and kids are not easily pacified, but that is a very easy tool to use.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at any kid. You give them a tablet,
They're
they're quiet.
They're done.
They can be going, wah, wah, wah. Give them a tablet, they're done.
And it's so hard. Like, I mean, at some stage, it's very hard to keep your kid away from what everyone else is engaging in, because you kind of...
But it's the future. How do you keep your kids away from it? I mean, if like I realized with David, like we were restricting him so much in so many things, but you can't anymore, because that's the world.
Yes,
that's where it's headed. That's where everything
handicap
is.
them eventually.
I mean, exactly. So I started recently, in the last month or so, I started just coming to this conclusion that the more I limit certain things, the more I'm going to handicap him. It's a true story.
Yeah.
So I've sort of like been, helping him understand and not look for the wrong things, because they get put down these rabbit holes, and all of a sudden you've got an 11-year-old kid that's, okay, he's not 11 anymore, but going down a porn site, and they don't even realize how they got there, but they're there. And
they do, and I mean, there's algorithms and that, they kind of gear them that way. I don't know what all the forces are behind this stuff, but they definitely gear them that way,
It's crazy,
It's like by some sort of, either by design or it is by a distinct mechanism. It's not like accidental or something. It's like a very distinct mechanism that takes young minds into very bad directions. Like
very fast.
Very fast, of course.
Very fast.
I mean, how do you intervene with that without just cutting everything off? It's like almost impossible, actually.
It's difficult,
It's difficult, and it takes real care as a parent. I mean, you care as parents in that, but how many parents that are single parents raising kids, or they have kids that they didn't, not maybe that they didn't plan to have kids, but they just kind of, you get a lot of families where they're just kind of there,
Absent.
Yeah, they're just kind of absent, and I think that's, I don't know if it's the majority of situations, but it's very common.
It's very common.
And I mean, those people are kind of going to go wherever they're going to go. Like, and it's it's really scary stuff, dude. It really is. But I think, as this, with the AR thing, to go back to that, taking over or whatever, you're getting all this AR generated content and stuff now. And obviously it's going to get to a point where it's hard to tell the difference. But
it really is getting hard to tell the
it
difference,
is,
dude. There's things, like I said, we see the everyday things. There's some stuff I see and it's like, no way that was generated.
Yeah,
that's generated.
and it takes you have to like puzzle for a while to figure it out. Then you're still not sure, and you have to go like read comments and that, and then you're like,
And then now with some of these filters, though, the real stuff looks like AI.
Exactly. Yeah,
So now
that's the
you're
other
like,
side of it. Yeah. But I do think one thing that's going to emerge from it that is quite good is we're going to be, not all of us again, but I mean, what I feel, and certainly the people around me, like there's this drive towards, you want human contact. human
100%.
content. You want to sit here and do this. You want to. That's why there's people like to watch things like this. I mean, this might otherwise be just a boring little thing, and perhaps it mostly will be to most people. But I like watching things like this because I just want to hear people's opinions, and it's real stuff. It's not some
100%.
driven narrative, some algorithm, AR-driven thing. I mean, I'll listen to stuff that is, even if the content has been put together by a person, but they have like an AR voice that's reading it or whatever. And then I've picked up on what those voices sound like. You get that? And again, it's also getting harder and harder to tell. Yeah, and then now,
but
once
there's a set.
Pick that. Yeah, there's a set. There's certain ones, yeah. And then I'm like, no ways. I'll change it just to maybe find content that's less good, but there's an actual person behind it. And that's what I'm getting at, is there's now this actual drive. Now you've got this contrast, and like before it didn't matter. You wouldn't just want a person to be reading something. It had to be a good person, a person who's good at it, right?
Yeah,
but now you've got this contrast to this robot thing, and you're like, give me anyone. Just let any human being.
Today, Vodacom. My wife was trying to get hold of Vodacom.
Yeah.
She couldn't get to a real person. She
Yeah.
keeps getting to some, I forget
Cheerful
the guy's name.
robot thing, yeah.
South
How may
African,
we
South African,
assist you?
South African accent. Speaks
Oh, wow.
beautiful English, South African English,
Yeah.
but is a machine and answers and has set
Yes,
recall
responses
and
and that.
responses, and you want to get to a real agent, and then
Yeah.
there's technical errors and they can't help you.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So we've been stuck the whole day.
That's the beautiful other side of it, especially the African thing. Like, they're more and more advanced with all this stuff, but yet nothing here works properly. Like, I've not realized that. Like,
100%.
you can invent, the more like advanced automated things you invent, the more stuff we're gonna have to sort out because it doesn't work. Like,
True story.
I mean, I don't see the day that they're gonna solve that. Like, you can bring all the ARs you want, but this shit's not gonna work properly. Yeah.
It's gonna be it's tough. And now Ramaphosa and them has just signed us going cashless.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah.
So
That's,
now, how's that going to work in this country?
No, exactly. Yeah.
We never have electricity.
Yeah, exactly.
We never have internet.
We won't be able to get out of our funds and getting stopped by the cops. Oh, crap.
There we go. Where's the corruption at a different level?
Oh, it's interesting, man. Yeah, no, like you say, interesting times to be alive, though.
Yeah, awesome.
Definitely.
Best time to be alive. This is like, we used to watch the sci-fi movies and it's all happening now, dude.
It is, yeah, it's all happening. Yeah. But we're still waiting for flying cars, though. They're very slow with the flying cars.
2020 was supposed to happen, remember? Before 2020. First it was like 2010, then 2020.
But they're running out of excuses. I mean, come on. Yeah. They got like some big taxi drone things, but they're not like.
Some of them are pretty cool. I wouldn't mind flying around in a drone, dude, riding around.
You seem like a jetpack type, dude. You'd be like, if
wouldn't
there was
mind
a
a jetpack,
jetpack, you'd be straight into, what's the big clip? The clip you have on, you'd be like smack bang into that thing, 200 k's an hour.
Yeah, I'd love that. Dude.
Anyone got a pop rivet gun for my back?
Yeah, I've always wanted to fly too.
Yeah, no, it actually has always been a dream of mine as well. It's something that's now like on the back burners, but yeah, it's.
But if I can't fly, I'd still like to skydive. I want that free fall.
Have you never done that?
I've done bungee jumping. I've never done
I'm
free fall
surprised,
skydiving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not as easy as it sounds. You got to go through a whole weekend of courses and training and tandem jumps and that kind of stuff.
Oh, you want to do like a solo free fall skydive? Yeah. So you got to first do tandem and all this.
Check my little gauge out. Decide when I'm going to pull my parachute.
You decide when. Maybe you decide not to. Let's see. Dude, you'll leave it for as late as possible. You'll be like, how far can we pull this stop here?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, yeah. When we did that, was it the Blowcrons or that highest one in?
Yeah, I think that's Blowcrons. Yeah.
And that free fall was.
Was it cool
fucking
though?
awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but it was mad. Like the acceleration, I just felt myself accelerating faster and faster and faster and faster. The tears started coming out of my eyes, and I was looking. I was like, and then I felt that thing hook my feet, and I was like, no.
Watch the camera.
But it was awesome.
How long do you free fall for on that thing? Like seconds was.
It's quite. I can't remember. We've got it on film.
Probably like 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
decent.
while.
It feels long. It feels long. It's like.
Wow. Was it like terrifying? Or?
That was awesome. I jumped. My wife, I've only been bungee jumping once. She'd been bungee jumping at the other one multiple times over the years, before I met her. So she was like, no, it's easy, man, let's do it. So I'm like, fuck, okay, let's do it. And then yeah, she struggled to jump. She eventually
Oh,
literally
yes.
walked the plank, and she was like,
Hands are sweating and stuff. Yeah.
and she didn't dive, so her feet were tied, so she went, "Hook," and then she got whiplashed at the bottom.
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough one, dude. Yeah, you got to be sure about it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you seen these crazy Russian oaks that do this like
base jumping and stuff, with the
base
wingsuits and
jumping,
stuff.
and not only that, they'll go out like on a construction girder, like 100 stories, and they'll like hang there by their one hand and like, oh Russia, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not that fit,
That's
so-
savage though, dude.
But that is cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's a different kind of, I don't know what. Like, I just watch that and my hands start sweating. Like, I actually wouldn't be able to do it because I would fall off because my hands would sweat me loose in seconds. Yeah, it's not
No, I
so
don't mind. I don't mind trying things like that. Obviously, I don't know about the hanging by one hand and that kind of thing. But I'll climb up there and be the guy holding the camera.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You can find a compromise. Like, skydiving is something I've thought about doing. Like, but maybe like, it's some time in my life where I'm really like, just spinning or losing it, or you know when you need something like
You
just need to break your state, you know, like if
we
I
go.
got into something like that, I might. I was
100%.
tempted the one time actually soon after my father passed, when I went to Blowkrans, and I like asked them how much, and I was like, just
It's
considering.
an awesome experience.
Yeah.
It is. The vibe there is freaking cool. Like the whole thing, when you get up there, the guys are like, there's music playing and everybody's on the same vibe.
I'm sure it's really energetic, yeah, because there's all
very
this
cool.
nervous energy as well. Yeah.
So some people turn around and they're like, no. And these guys are like, no, you're going, pal.
No, I'll start sweating.
No, it's
Yeah, but it must be. I can imagine it's a really like liberating feeling to just kind of step out like that.
yeah, it's almost as liberating as a psychedelic experience.
Something you know about as well. Not so
Yeah,
much.
it's been a while, but yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I haven't done anything since 2021.
Oh, since COVID,
2021, no, but 2021. August 2021.
almost around just after you stopped your stunt biking. You know, you must be battling for thrills now. That's why you're getting back into the enduros and
Maybe. But I did. It helped me reset on a lot of things. It helped me. It's weird. I didn't think it would help, but it really did help. Magic mushrooms, bro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Did you go and take like a large dose of shrooms? And
I took for a while. I did a couple of the big doses.
is it?
Yeah.
Wait, like here, not here at home, or did you?
At home.
Oh, at home.
The last time I did it, we rented a off-grid cabin in the mountains.
Okay.
That was hectic, and never did it again after that. Didn't
Oh,
need
is
to.
it? Oh, is it? Was it hectic?
Yeah, it was quite hectic, but it's everything that happens needs to happen.
Yeah.
It's something you got to work through, and if things come up, it's because you're dealing with things or you haven't dealt with things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it did definitely. It
So
helped.
was it
I did a
hectic
lot
in
of
that
internal
sense?
work, dude.
Yeah, really.
Fixed me up. I can be honest with you. It changed.
Really?
I was a different person before that.
So it wasn't just like that. It was super trippy, and you were like the world was going all. It wasn't
I'm a
in
different
that way. It was.
I'm a different
It was
person
like
now.
a deep.
Deep mental change, but a reset on even some of my values. I'd say it
Really?
was a
That's interesting.
deep spiritual mental
Really.
reset.
Over how long? Like how? I don't want to say how long did you trip for. Like how long of a time period was that experience? Let's say. Was it several hours? Was it like 6 hours worth of?
Depending. So I had multiple experiences, and some of them lasted very long, some of them shorter.
So you're saying that this change that came over you, this whole net change, was like as a result of this accumulation of all these.
Of experiences
Yeah,
and
it
work
wasn't just the one.
afterwards. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
because you go through a state of reflection afterwards. So it's not something you go. A lot of people. I did it. My wife and I both did it medicinally. We did it with the intention of working on our inner selves, because we did research before, and we weren't there just to go get high. And, you know what I
Get
mean?
shit faced.
There we go. And like I went to a point where I actually even grew my own magic mushrooms.
Oh, is it?
Because I didn't want anything tainted. I wanted
Yeah,
pure, clean stuff.
You wanted
you know?
to know it was good. Yeah.
No, and yeah, I went through a little sting, and when I realized once I'd worked through what I needed to work through, I didn't want to do the
It
mushrooms
was,
anymore.
yeah, it was, the stuff was done. Yeah.
100%. And I went through a couple of moments recently where things were tough, and I was like, I almost felt like I might need one, but I haven't done it. And now I sort of like pulled back, and I was like, I didn't need it. I got through it. And
Maybe just indicated to you that there was stuff you needed to work on.
I deal with maybe. And
that time of like reflection and that stuff, was it difficult? Like in the sense, was there like difficult stuff of yourself that you had to deal with that was like can I say like a struggle, a fight, or was it like more a peaceful kind of confrontation of stuff?
So initially, things seem huge sometimes, but you actually, what it does in the time when you're reflecting, you actually work through things, and it does things to your brain.
There's like some development.
Development, but you also you work through the experiences in the background without even physically,
like
subconsciously,
yeah.
and you'll be busy with your day, and you'll realize that you've been thinking about an experience you had with your oppa doing and how if he hadn't told you about this, you would have never done this, and that led to this, and that I'm just getting an example.
So it's like reflection. It's like some different kind of reflection, maybe than what you would normally do.
Yeah, a lot deeper, and you sort of get to a point where you can rewire your brain. It's weird. You can. And I'm living proof, and my wife is, and
experience.
And it's when you start coming to certain realizations, I think new neural pathways get
I've also heard a little bit about
that. And and I think it also it does something to the chemistry in your brain, that it realigns things, and it does gets you out of old habits.
Okay. Old habits die hard.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And they died. Kicked the bucket. They did.
Like many of them. But although those, So, but it's life changing.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously I've sort of heard that line before, but to hear it like directly from someone I know, like it's like a direct testimony. I mean, the way you're saying it sounds like it really life changing. It's not just like a little bit. Oh, it was quite cool for a few weeks. I felt lekker. It's like actually
setting intention. It wasn't like I said. If it's something that if you have things that you feel you need, you don't even know half the shit you need to work through.
Yes,
There's so much stuff.
It's like unpacking old
trauma.
store.
It frees you from trauma that you've gone through, and even maybe that's locked in your DNA and stuff. It's crazy because your parents' trauma is your trauma. It goes back deep, and there'll be things inside you don't even realize that you're fighting with daily. Meanwhile, it's not you. It's something that happened to your father or your mother at a certain time in their lives, and around this time.
Kind of.
And it's in your DNA, and it's ready for something to happen that doesn't maybe happen to you.
Yes.
And, it's weird.
Yes, that's weird how stuff like that works. So it's also like you get this. Have you seen this like scientific thing where you get like learned behaviors? Like obviously I'm going to quote this whole thing badly now, but it is like apparently a real thing where like let's say a troop of monkeys learns a new behavior of some kind. There's some trick that they figure out of how to crack a nut or something. Then, like, not only will that be passed down to their descendants, but other ones of the same species that have nothing to do with that tribe will get that same behavior. Like, without actually seeing it. It's like there's something going on. No, I don't know if it's like you say. Is it like DNA? Is it? There's something weird at the back that's going on.
Definitely. So I believe that we only see in X amount of senses. I think we've lost the ability to, or we were never ever able to. But there is definitely, we see X amount of dimensions. I think 5 different dimensions we can experience, and I think there's probably more than 10. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things happening around us right now that we can't see.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, because if you look at like you have radio waves, for example, so certain wavelengths you can see, and that's only like a tiny part of the spectrum, but there's almost an infinite range of possible wavelengths. So it's a similar thing.
They see your heat signature. They don't see you.
Yes.
There's all these things. There's so much happening around us, dude. That I do believe. That. We're blind to a lot of shit that's happening right now. I don't want to get too
sure. No, I think the mushrooms are still talking. I can see it. No, I'm kidding, dude.
No, it's
interesting stuff. Yeah, there's definitely something.
And there's definitely science that's been proving a lot of things lately, dude. So I don't know.
The
world is crazy.
To go back to like the mushrooms thing while we're in the jungle here. Have you ever looked at like ayahuasca or those things and thought about it?
I've looked at ayahuasca. I've thought about it.
That sounds quite hectic.
I've got mescaline. I've got all sorts of stuff. Never done mescaline. I actually, every time I've had powder, I bless it to other people. I never felt the need to. You know what I mean?
But the rabbit hole gets deeper.
It gets deeper, dude.
In Mukpunt City.
I've got cactus in the garden, dude. They're growing. But yeah,
But isn't that stuff is supposed to like make people violent and that, or is it not that one? Is
it's
that
a
some
love
other
drug,
thing?
dude. That one's a love and colorful
is it?
drug. Yeah.
Okay.
The people think, but I think a lot of the time is people. Remember what I told you about setting intention?
Yes.
So if you're gonna go out and just want to get fucked, all of a sudden you have too much of something. You start seeing things.
And
You don't know where you are. You've lost yourself.
It's chaotic.
It's
Yeah,
chaotic.
yeah,
Things go
yeah.
wrong. But
I get
certain
you.
setting, if you're prepared, you're ready. You're not in an uncomfortable environment or you're at home in a safe space with safe people. It's always, you've got to do things, you open yourself up to many possible situations and
But you also, like, I suppose, like you say, with intention, you were doing it with some sort of intention to reflect in that. I mean, you actually wanted that kind of exploration of your own psyche. Like, it wasn't, it's funny, like they say that about doing these things recreationally, like is what you're saying, like just for the
fucking rush.
yeah,
to trip, man. I want to trip balls.
Yeah.
That's the thing with
That's a very juvenile thing to do.
Yeah,
I get it.
A lot of people do though.
Yeah.
And I feel it. I mean, I think so. I tried eating mushrooms when I was younger as a kid. It was a young, like 19, 20, 21. After my brother, mushrooms never did anything to me. I didn't feel anything. It didn't do anything. And it was like, so when I did try it later on in my life, the next time I tried it was with my wife. I was very shocked that it worked.
Yeah, okay.
But I think it also, mentally, I hadn't let go enough.
Yes, yeah.
To whatever
yeah.
I was hanging on to back then, you know.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you've got to just
let go.
let go, dude.
Yeah. It's like the bungee jumping thing, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Life's about letting go, dude.
And it is,
all the noises in your
head. It
head.
really is, and sometimes it's tough to realize that. I mean, realize like physically, to manifest it, if I can put it like that. It's tough it's one thing to accept it like intellectually and letting go. But like the stuff that you really hold on to, whether it's, I mean, everyone's got their own stuff. It can be pride, it can be this, it can be all these things. Like it's tough, man. Like letting go is not easy. It's kind of like, it's like ego, it's like your identity. So letting go feels like releasing what you see as your identity, and like nobody wants to do that, because then what am I if not this thing that I see as my identity? Right?
And that's something mushrooms will do.
Yeah.
You will, so like it's called an ego death. I had an ego death.
Yeah.
That's a crazy experience. That realization, and you know what the craziest thing was for me ever though? Like I do, like when you superpowers,
Yeah.
It's almost like you have superpowers at the time. So
Okay.
like you have the ability to slow time down, but it's in your bubble.
Okay.
So
like subjectively.
So like, an example, I thought my heart had stopped, and I caught a little bit of a panic. But time had slowed down so much that I was just waiting for the next beat.
That's crazy, dude.
Hey?
Oh,
So like, and then when I came to the realization that it was just the pause between beats.
You're like, how can that pause be so long?
It's like, crazy, dude.
But it was really.
It was intense, dude. And not many people have ever done this, and I'll tell you this, and it might sound crazy, you can edit it out, but my wife and I, we tripped together. We experienced identical thing. It was a lifetime.
I've heard
we
of
lived
that
together
before from people I know as well, not just.
And it was crazy. We actually lived like lifetimes together, and we watched each other age. It was messed up, and then only to wake up later and we are ourselves now, and both of us still remember everything like it was yesterday. That's crazy.
That's not the first time I've heard something like that, though, dude. It is crazy, but it's like, and I mean, when I say I heard something like that, I don't mean just secondhand accounts, but I mean also from someone that I know and trust in that context of telling the story, that it was really how they experienced it, in different ways than what you're saying, but similar, like where they encountered the same. I don't want to say, let's call it to simplify it, like hallucination, but where they would both, like something that should be sort of impossible, but they're both sitting there together and like the one confirms it to the other one, they're like, no, definitely. And
100%, dude. How does it happen?
Yeah, how does it happen? I don't know. That's interesting stuff. But yeah, we went quite deep down.
Yeah, that rabbit hole.
But anyway, let's get to more of what you're doing here, dude. So you've got the bikes and that, you've got the...
so left corporate, didn't really know what I was going to do. I got to a point and I was in a situation and I realized that everything I'd put in for the last 20 years I wasn't. I know that I wasn't given credit for it. I know that a lot of things came out in a few minutes, and it made me reevaluate why I'd lost so much time with my kids and my family over the last. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden within it, everything flashed before me in those moments, and I was like, "Who am I doing this for?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
I've
that
lost.
feeling well. Yeah.
I've lost my daughter, but my daughter doesn't speak to me much. Actually, at all anymore. I don't know. Yeah, we didn't. She lost me through that hole when I was getting deep into work, and I didn't obviously give her enough time. That even though I was doing everything I thought I needed to, I obviously wasn't giving her exactly what she needed in certain ways.
Yeah.
But I've learned that I don't want that to happen with my current kids and my wife, and I think that work-life balance is a thing. And you should balance. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I never gave myself enough time. Now I'm focusing on myself and my family, and by doing that, I'm doing what I love, is getting back into bikes.
Yeah, it's so important that.
Yeah, so I've got a little engineering workshop here. I weld in all forms. I have a lathe. I have a milling machine. Service and rebuild motorcycles. I do everything I love. So
Slag the odd duck now and again.
Slag the odd duck. Yeah. Just trying to make a living in a new world. The world's different now, dude.
That's it. The brave new world.
Yeah.
Yes, it's different now. I'm going to quote you on that. It's going to be like a famous little. The world's different now. No, but it really is
different now. When I left, I was a bit of an entrepreneur when I got into the corporate thingy, and I can tell you now, 20 years ago, it was a lot easier to live and to move around and to hustle.
Yes. Yeah.
It was easy to make money back in the day. A lot easier. 20 years from now, it's so yeah. I do, yeah. So I don't have to specialize in anything anymore. The other day I fixed a windmill for a farmer down the road.
Yeah.
And as you can see, today I'm working on swapping engines on motorcycles. And
yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's real stuff. It's like almost like homesteading, in a way. Yeah, not quite.
We were,
but it's something like that, modern equivalent.
Dude, so I've got 8 ducks now. I had like 14 laying chickens, and I had like 8 roosters. So I went through all of that, but we had a bad winter, and a lot of them got sick and died. And
so you ate a lot of KFC.
I didn't want to eat them because they died from some sort of sickness. But they died within a week. We lost all of them. It was like every day they were just.
Yeah, that's swag.
So I pulled down all the chicken coops. The ducks weren't affected, and I started with 2 ducks. They had eggs, and then now all of a sudden we have 8 ducks, and we have 4 pairs now. So brother and sisters are laying eggs, and yeah.
Lekker.
I was going to ask you if you didn't want to take a set home with you. You want to?
Yeah, if my mom know that, she'll be like, "Oh, please."
We're
there on the river. We can throw them there on the river. They can do their thing. They've got wildlife and stuff.
I'll introduce you to them later.
Oh wow, the plot thickens. Yeah, awesome.
So basically, any engineering, any motor work, everything I can do is available. I also I sell dog food, raw dog food.
It's real hustle, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I help people with carnivore lifestyle. So got a little bit of everything, yeah.
And are you on? You spoke about your channel that started and stopped. Are you doing any media work? Are you going to do some of this? Are you going to make some video again? I'd be interested to watch. You must just
so I
video
post,
what you're doing when you're working. And
I do post quite a bit. So what I started doing was, so hard enduro is hard, and a lot of people, we go for rides and it gets rough. People give up. They break themselves mentally. So what I started doing was I started doing the full ride, unedited. Copy put it all there, so you hear the banter in between, the swearing, the guys throwing their bikes down. It wasn't always full of action, but there are a couple. I mean, the one day we got lost. So about 4 months ago, actually, we went for a ride in one of these mountain ranges where we shouldn't be, and deep in the mountains, took a wrong turn. Ended up in a 9.5 hour.
Oh, wow, it's proper enduro.
So we ended up in a canyon going down. We couldn't turn around. We couldn't get up. The only way was down. There were sections where we were throwing our bikes off because there was just nothing else to do. Wrong turn went bad. Ran out of water.
Oh, jeez.
Eventually found a stream. Drank water in the stream. Wet ourselves. The one guy, he lost his brain, and he choked. So we were waiting for him to come. So we were having checkpoints. So one was going because there was no shade either. So we were cooking in the sun. So we were literally,
rough, dude.
Yeah, it was rough. In the middle of the mountain, Can't see any. There's nothing you can see in sight except for mountain and more mountain. And now it's this little single track. Now there's a little bush here. It's only big enough for you to get your head under to keep cool. So we're literally using these points as checkpoints.
Fighting over the bush space.
There we go. So the next guy's going. He gets to the next bush, and it's like kilometers ahead.
You look leapfrogging to
So the next guy comes, and he gets to me. I say, okay, cool. There we go. I'm going to the next
refresher.
one. There we go. He has his refresher, and eventually we get to the. Now it's been probably 3 hours, 4 hours out there lost, and we're working down this canyon, and we hear my one buddy, the last guy, stumbling down the top of the mountain there, and don't see his bike.
Oh jeez.
He lost it. He broke.
Oh really?
He threw his bike down the flipping off the trail.
Ravine kind of thing.
Because he fell again and he couldn't get it up, so he just pushed it down.
Because he was exhausted. He was just.
He was broken. He walked down. He was mumbling the weirdest stuff. He'd lost it. He was.
Came staggering out of the desert there.
And then my friend and I, Donnie, we had to hike up to go fetch his bike because he would have died if we left him out there. We found his bike up there, flooded because it was lying upside down.
Oh, that's it.
Anyway, eventually get it down to us. Couldn't get it started. When we got to that river, then we were pulling him, towing him, pushing him. It was horrible. Eventually we get to that little river and we managed to get his spark. We managed to try and get his bike started, pull the spark plug out, and we managed to have a spare, got his bike running again. And yeah, we left at 6:30 that morning. I got home at 9 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Yeah,
but how did you feel after that? Did you feel like you've done something today?
Awesome. Awesome. He unfortunately never. That was his last ride.
Really? Yeah.
He came to come ride with me.
I wonder why. Why would he want to do it again?
He came to ride with me a week ago actually.
Okay.
And his bike broke. I think maybe after he threw. Yeah. He managed to get it. He went for his first ride. It didn't end. He didn't do anything. He rode to the spot, rode back. And yeah.
Maybe he was just.
I think he'll slowly start getting back into
just dipping his toes in again.
Shame, man. He broke.
I can imagine.
He broke. He was the first one to run out of water too.
Oh yeah.
But it was hectic.
Yeah, because you go past annoyed, then you get a second wind, then you start to get tired, then the second wind is wearing off, and then you start to get gutfall again, then you get tired of gutfall, then you start to enter into the.
Nothing's getting any easier.
Yeah. There's no way out. You always look for the off ramp. Where's the okay, I quit now. And when that isn't there, it's a different level.
Got to a point where he wanted to phone the NSRI. He wanted to phone Paul Rescue. He wanted to phone.
Oh, shame, dude.
Cape Nature.
Was that an option? Could he have done that?
We probably would have got into big trouble.
Because you weren't allowed to be there, so you would have been in trouble. You would have implicated all the other Owens and made cut.
You would have had to be flown out of there with a helicopter. Because it was deep, dude.
It's interesting to comment on that. My grandfather once told me a thing that he came to stay with us when I was very young, and then he was a very talkative guy, all sorts of he was opened my mind in a lot of ways. We did say shit, and I'm like, what? And then he's like, no, fear of humiliation is greater than the fear of death. And then he told the story of in army in the parabat units and that when they'd all have to jump out of the plane for the first time, and then you'd get guys that are too scared, they're terrified. But he's every single one would do it because of the the humiliation. Even if he's convinced he's gonna die, and I don't know how much truth there is to it, but it makes sense. It's a similar situation to that guy. He could have pulled the plug, but it's almost you'd rather just get to the point of death than, because that's a real humiliation. If you're going to be the one guy that then it's you called mommy and daddy, and everyone else kind of toughed it out. It's there's something about that that's powerful. It moves you to find deep reserves.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
There's some people aren't built for the struggle.
No, especially more so nowadays. It's more and more like that because the struggle is being removed. I mean, if you take the struggle away, then of course you have atrophy, and then what's going to happen?
Hard time, but hard men make good times. Good times make
weak men. And then weak men make hard times, and hard times make good men, so it goes.
Yeah, the cycle repeats.
So anyways, on that note, I think we'll wrap it up. Thank you again I really appreciate it. You've done this on basically zero notice as my former boss. Not bad for a former boss, I should never have left. No, I'm kidding. But I really appreciate it. Where do you, Gareth Larson is your thing? Is there any
Gareth
channel
Larson,
on Instagram?
_69. Gareth Larson _69 and Gareth Works.
Cool.
You find any of those.
Check it out.
I'll drop you some links you can put in your
I'll put it there on the video. Yeah, awesome. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thanks, pal.
Cool, bud. Pleasure.
Take care.
Cheers.